Unlike other countries, there is something here that catches your attention right away. It's not just the beauty of the women, it's their eyes. In many faces, especially women's, you see something different. A tired look, sometimes sadness, sometimes even anger. And this is visible even before New Year arrives. The streets reveal contrasts that never appear on postcards. Graffiti-covered walls, crumbling buildings, sidewalks occupied by people sitting, talking, waiting for time to pass. But at the same time, there is another side. In certain specific areas where the elite lives, everything changes. The streets are more organized, people seem lighter. You see music, dancing, that classic Latin joy, as if it were another country inside the same country. But this side is not for everyone, and when night falls, something curious happens. The streets gain more movement, people seem to smile more, women become more visible, and the atmosphere changes, even though reality remains exactly the same. The question is inevitable. What is it like to celebrate New Year in a place where hardship is visible in everyday life, but the party insists on existing? How does this turning of the year work in a country broken on the inside, yet still trying to smile on the outside? Today, we're going to show Cuba without filters, the contrast between beauty and hardship, between joy and weight, between what the world sells and what is actually lived. This content is controversial and often has limited reach, so before continuing, leave a like and a comment to help this video go further. After just a few minutes walking through the streets, you understand that in Cuba, beauty is not what stands out the most. It exists, it's evident, it's everywhere, but it's not what stays in your memory. What really leaves a mark is the contrast. Cuban women are beautiful, well-groomed, they walk with firm posture, they know they attract attention, but when you meet their gaze, something changes. It's not coldness, it's weight, it's exhaustion, it's an expression that doesn't match their age or the tropical climate. During the day, many of them seem constantly alert. They observe who passes by, assess who arrives, keep a certain distance. The smile appears, but it's not automatic. It comes after conversation, after trust. Before that, the look is serious, sometimes suspicious, sometimes hard. This has nothing to do with a lack of warmth. It has to do with survival. In Cuba, reality shapes behavior. Women grow up learning to be strong early, to depend less, to figure things out on their own. This shows in posture, in the way they speak, in how they occupy space. There is no carefree lightness like you see in other Latin countries. Here, even beauty carries responsibility. It's striking to see how many women maintain their appearance even amid hardship. Simple clothes, but well-fitted, hair done, light makeup, as if appearance were one of the few things still under their control. And this creates an unsettling contrast, a beautiful face, a young body, and a gaze that seems older than their age. When the conversation moves forward, when the ice breaks, another side emerges. Humor, irony, the Latin way of laughing and joking. But this side doesn't come for free. It has to be earned, and that's where many people get it wrong. Those who arrive expecting only parties, charm, and easy smiles end up confused, because in Cuba, beauty is not an invitation, it's just the beginning of a much more complex story. But this behavior doesn't come out of nowhere. It borns from the economic reality, from the way life works, from what is missing day to day. And this starts to make sense when you understand how money and survival function in the country. Because when it comes to living in Cuba, the shock goes far beyond appearances. In Cuba, talking about money is talking about survival. There's no way to understand people's behavior, especially women's, without understanding the numbers behind life here. The official average monthly salary in the country is around 4,000 to 5,000 Cuban pesos. In practice, that equals something between $15 and $25 a month, depending on the informal exchange rate, which is what truly governs daily life. To put it in perspective, this amount doesn't even cover a week of basic food. 1 kilogram of rice can cost the equivalent of a day's full wage. A whole chicken, when available, easily reaches $6 or $7. 1 liter of cooking oil costs more than $2. In other words, an entire salary barely buys a few basic items, and that's it. That's why almost no one survives on a state salary alone. Official money exists, but it sustains no one. What keeps people standing is the parallel economy: tips from tourists, small services, informal exchanges, help from relatives who live abroad. And here's an important point: anyone who manages to receive $200 a month, something modest by other countries' standards, is already seen as comfortable in Cuba. Here, $200 means eating every day, having some freedom of choice, and even helping family members. That's why contact with foreigners completely changes social dynamics, not out of shallow interest, but out of real necessity. The cost of living for outsiders seems low, but for those who live here, it's ruthless. A simple meal in a tourist restaurant can cost $10 to $15. That represents half of a common worker's monthly salary, and when you understand these numbers, behavior takes on a new meaning. The heavy gaze, the constant tension, the careful way of speaking, none of this is accidental. Just walking through the streets is enough to see how this reality materializes every day. Walking through Cuba during the day feels like moving inside a scenario where time decided to stop. Poverty here isn't hidden or pushed out of the visitor's sight. It's right there, exposed, coexisting with everyone. You see people sitting on sidewalks for hours, not because they're resting, but because there's not much else to do. They talk, observe, wait. Time moves differently here. There is no rush, no immediate expectation, only the present moment. The buildings tell stories without needing subtitles. Peeling facades, improvised windows, clotheslines hanging in incongruous places. In many neighborhoods, the architecture seems frozen in another decade, as if the country had been forgotten by the modern world. During the day, food carts appear on street corners, simple things, made with whatever is available. This isn't tourist gastronomy, it's survival. It's the way found to supplement income, to trade something, to keep going. What's most striking is the human contrast. Even amid the visible hardship, people keep moving, talking, occasionally laughing. It's not pure joy, it's silent resistance, a way of not letting the weight win completely. For outsiders, this hits hard because it's not theatrical misery or poverty staged for shock value. It's a harsh, normalized routine that's part of everyday life. And the more you observe, the more you realize this setting influences everything: people's moods, relationships, dreams, and even the way the city breathes. When the sun begins to set in Cuba, something changes in the air. It's not that problems disappear, they're still there, but the night creates a kind of emotional pause. The streets fill up. People who spent the day sitting and waiting now stand up. Conversations form on street corners, music starts playing somewhere, and curiously, smiles appear more easily. The women who carry that heavy gaze during the day seem lighter at night, not because reality improved, but because night is the only moment when it's possible to breathe. It's when they dress a little better, walk slowly, talk, observe who passes by. Cuban nightlife isn't about big clubs or exaggerated parties. It happens on sidewalks, in simple bars, in open houses, in improvised gatherings. Everything is very basic, and precisely because of that, it feels so real. Here, the night isn't an escape, it's emotional resistance. For a few hours, people try to remember that they're still alive, that they can still laugh, dance, talk, even knowing that the next day everything will be exactly the same. And this creates a powerful contrast, a country broken on the inside, but refusing to completely extinguish its joy. As the clock approaches midnight, Cuba reveals perhaps its most honest portrait, not the one from the propaganda, nor the postcard version.
It's the image of a tired country trying to breathe. Families gather with what they have, sometimes little, sometimes almost nothing. There is no abundance, no excess, no sense of a fresh start that many people associate with New Year's Eve in other parts of the world. And here lies the dilemma. Is it worth celebrating New Year in Cuba? If you expect comfort, luxury, big parties, or a sense of progress, probably not. But if you want to understand what it means to celebrate even when almost everything is missing, Cuba offers a hard but real lesson. Here, the celebration isn't about the future, it's about emotional survival. It's about not letting joy die completely, even when the environment insists on pushing you down. Cuba doesn't sell hope, it delivers contrast, and maybe that's why no one leaves here indifferent. Either you're disturbed